I'm happy to have this morning Karen Hinds on the stage with me. Would you give her a warm face-centered welcome?
Thank you.
Morning. You know, one of the things I love with our church is when people take the time out to send their testimonies in to me. People have no idea. They don't think I read it. They don't think I really read it. So when I got a hold of your testimony and saw it, I was blown away, because I actually saw you in the people. I want you to start with what happened at the beginning and where God took you now.
So let me start. So first of all, thank you very much. What happened when you asked people to come down and you mentioned that there were people needing homes, something stirred in me. But before I even get there, I want to say this directly to all of you. Every Sunday, Pastor asks people to come and give you a testimony. And you sit and you watch like it's a show. Today, I don't want you to see it as a show. I want you to recognize that everything that I say and everything that everybody else has said in the past is an opportunity for you to figure out what can God do in your life. It is time now for us as people who say we have a relationship with God to stop playing around and really look and see what he can do for you. So I say that to say, as I share with you, I'm going to give it to you quickly because I want you to focus on three things. Number one, I'm going to tell you what I want you to know first, and then I'm going to tell you the testimony because I'm going to say it again at the end. I want you, if you don't have a Bible, to go get one. I want you to find a Bible because in this Bible, it is the best reality show you can ever find. There's drama, there's espionage, there's sex scandals, there's culture shifts, there's power struggles, there's family drama. You don't miss anything with this. So if you don't have one, you don't even, listen, go find one because you don't need a TV, just open this. And in addition to that, you see some boring TV shows, there's boring parts of this too. So let's get this straight. So I say that, get the Bible, then find 2 or 3 people who are going to walk a journey with you, because we have to stop playing. 2 to 3 people who are going to call you out on your stuff, who are going to hold you up when things get messy, because your healing will be messy. I own a training and development company. I'm a powerhouse on stage. Well, don't ask me to talk about my personal life. I start shaking and going crazy like, oh gosh, I can't do this. But find 2 or 3 people who are going to hold you accountable and call you out. And then I want you to remember this, faith. I remember trust, faith in God, trust the process, and be generous. So what happened at the beginning? When you gave the call to say people who want to buy a home should come down, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, what is going on? How can we have a church of faith-believing, Bible-thumping, I'm going to get up and dance Sunday, and we don't have homes? And I was saving for my second investment property. But don't get excited because you're thinking, she owns a company, I'm the author of 5 books, number 6 is coming out this year. She can do that. Let's rewind 3 years ago, 2020, January, the first 3 days. I found myself divorced after 23 years. I'm 49 years old wondering, God, what is going on? I prayed, I fasted, I begged, I counseled, I did everything I could possibly do. And it didn't work. I was depressed. I started gaining weight and I was frustrated. And I'm saying, God, I don't get this. I've been with you. What are you doing? This is not supposed to be my life. And I'm from the Caribbean. I ain't telling nobody my business. February comes along. I said, I'm going to step away from my whole family. I said, I'm not talking to you all for a month. I'm going to take the time to ask God, what are we doing? Because I said, Lord, now I'm divorced. I'm going to be destitute. We can't have this. You cannot make me look bad and I say you're my husband. Come on now. We have to do better than that. So for a whole month, I just prayed, fasted, listened to motivational tapes, listened to different sermons, and read my Bible, The Reality Show. March, the pandemic hit. I lost 95% of my contracts. By the way, did I tell you I was flat broke in January? I was flat broke after 20-something years in business. How does that happen, right? March, I started getting up my contracts, and by March, 95% were gone. And I'm wondering, what am I going to do? I said, well, pandemic hit. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die in the sunshine. So April rolls around, and I hear God say, you need to move to Florida. I'm like, that'll be next year, 2021, because I know no one in Florida. I have no family here. I have no clients here. I have no ties. But God said, let's move in 2021. 2 weeks later, he said, girl, I need you to move now. I'm thinking, come on, you've got to be kidding me. What do you mean move now? I don't know anyone. I listened. I packed everything I owned, sold what I had. I said, I'm going to move to Florida. I moved to Fort Lauderdale and Pompano. God provided a one-bedroom apartment for me. I was here by myself in the middle of a pandemic, knowing no one. That was July. And by August, after having lost 95% of my business, I watched God completely explode the revenue in my business. The most I have seen in 23 years. This is August. Wow. I came by myself. By September, my son, who was his last year in college, said, Mom, you're in the sunshine. I could do my last year in college. I'm joining you. My first family member. By December, remember, January, flat broke. Remember, I told you that.
Right.
By December, all throughout the year, I kept praying. Reality show, let's go, right here, every day, because I had a mentor, Jay, who kept saying, read it every day. I'm like, Jay, this is boring. He goes, read it every day. Read it like it's the air that you breathe. Read it like it's the food you need to eat every day. By December, I had signed on my dream house. It sits currently on over an acre of land. On my vision board, I wanted tropical fruit trees. I have every tropical fruit tree mature that I did not plant.
Jesus.
That I did not plant.
You didn't plant.
I did not plant.
Wow.
I walked onto the property like that. I asked God for neighbors who would treat me like family. I have a neighbor who has a boat who goes out a couple times a month and brings me back fresh fish every time. I do not pay for it. So you sit around here and you keep thinking, well, I'm a Christian. Forget about being a Christian. Have a relationship with God.
Jesus.
Stop this playing around that we've been doing. So now we're in December. My mom had a dream to move in Florida, and for 20 years it didn't happen. Fast forward 2021, Mom came to visit. I'm just me and my son here. Mom came to visit. God opened the door for my mom and my dad to come to Florida, buy their own house. In 1 week, they found a house in Florida, sold their house, and in 3 weeks they were living here. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Because y'all keep talking about the goodness of God. If you see the goodness of God, you would know what to do. A week later, my brother decided, I'm going to come visit you. He's built a house 3 miles from me. Oh, don't get excited. God ain't done. Hold on. You're not used to God's blessing because you wouldn't know what to do if you found it. So my mother and dad's here. My brother's here now. I have a great community. I'm in my dream property. I am loving life, but I'm still a little bit, God, what's going on? Fast forward a couple more months. One of my best friends who couldn't stand in Florida moved to Florida. In 3 days, she bought a house. She did not plan to buy a house. Oh, wait, don't get excited. Wait, there's more.
Wow.
After she came a couple of months later, my other best friend who I've known for over 30 years, I found out her mother lives 5 minutes away from me. She's now in Florida. She's sitting over there.
Wow.
So here I am coming to Florida by myself, and now I have an entire community. But I didn't tell you this. You talk about God canceling debt. Because of my business success, I was able to have some of my consultants be debt-free, and one paid for a PhD cash. Wow. Stop playing with God. Those of you who have church hurt, it's time to recognize it's not about the church, because the church is full of a bunch of hurt people.
Wow.
It's about a relationship with God first. The other thing I want you to recognize is this. When you pray to God, recognize that you will need to get messy. Naaman, he got messy, didn't he? He didn't want to go to the Jordan River. Yeah. Jesus went and spit on the mud and made mud pie and put it on somebody's eyes. And I don't know about you, but if somebody told me you're going to spit in my eye, I'm going to see, I'm thinking, yeah, try that again. But you actually recognize that it may not be mud now, and it may not be the dirty Jordan River, but for a lot of us, it's shame, it's guilt, it's the secrecy, it's the anger, it's the frustration, it's the things that keep you in bondage from never ever recognizing the power of God. Because if you really, really pay attention to what God wants to do in your life, he's going to have to peel off the Band-Aids and let the stuff stink, like Lazarus coming out of the grave.
Wow.
Before he even came out of the grave, he had to stink. So are you willing to let somebody else smell your stink? Are you willing to allow somebody to see your secrets? Are you willing to allow somebody to recognize how angry you are and how ashamed you are and how guilty you might feel in order to move forward? Get your Bible. It's the best reality show out there. Number 2, 2 or 3 people to walk with you. And remember, be faithful. Trust the process. Be generous. It's not about the money, because I was able to give $10,000 as the first seed, and I was amazed that 2 other people matched my donation. It's not about the money. It's about, are you willing to give your heart to the Lord?
Wow. 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 Wow.